Yo, what up, though, everybody? This your homeboy Heavy. Yo, check this out. If you like what the Pop Culture 223 podcast is dropping as far as content, I need you to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button so I can run these numbers up and catch that YouTube algorithm. So let's get into the show and see what's popping. Yo, what up, though, everybody? This your homeboy Heavy, the host of the Pop Culture 223 podcast. Sorry, I was paying attention to something else. We're doing a little bit different today, man. We're not in the studio. We're in the dungeon. We're in the basement. We in here getting it in. We like I said, 2025. We trying to do a little different, some remote interviews. But I got nephew on today, man. Nephew he goes by free OG or free OG. One he got, he's super exclusive, so he got he got a bunch of different names. So hopefully we get through this interview, man, because he got that 0G Wi-Fi over there. So we'll see how this goes, man. But I want to introduce him. Why I brought him on the show today because like I said, I want to say he's been trying to get into the competition world, not trying to get into the competition world, but he's in the competition world. I met him through the Black Bottom Gun Club. He came out to a couple axe matches, and after that, he was off and running. He did axe matches with him. We didn't shot IDP. Well, I haven't shot an IDPA match with him. We shot some USPSA matches, and that's where kind of he wanted to spend his time in that area. So he's been hitting the ground, training, doing all he can. So look, I'm gonna bring him on. Look, two free OG. Just introduce yourself. Tell the world about you a little bit, and then we can get into it.
You're good at this, man. I don't I don't do live interview stuff or talking on camera. All this talking on camera I do on YouTube, I cut a lot of that shit out. So let me see if I can get this first try. I'm Freeman, two free OG, free OG, whatever you want to call me. I started shooting USPSA and competition shooting in like May of 2023. So come May 2025, it'll be 2 years of just competing at a level, whether that be a high level or low level. I've been competing since then. Like I said, I just trying to better myself in some kind of way. I used to play sports in high school, and I stepped away from that because it wasn't my lane. So hopping into something competitive, as in USPSA or any other shooting sport, like you mentioned, axe. It was something I'd gravitated to because of the people, and it was just fun, just competing out there and trying to get better in general. So just been enjoying my time, and like I said, couldn't thank Heavy enough for bringing me on and making me feel welcome in the axe sport. That's what kept me going with axe for sure.
Hey,
So,
you know what's funny, and this is what you got to do. So I'm watching you while you watching yourself. You supposed to make eye contact with the camera. So look,
oh
you
my
know,
bad, my camera's over here to the right.
right.
I'm
So
looking. Yeah, my
and
bad, my
what's
bad.
tripping? Listen, so he's gonna give me all his information on YouTube. He do his YouTube videos. He's perfect with this. It's just now he tripping because we on here now. He not act like he all shy and stuff. But if you watch him on Instagram, he what's it? Two free OG on Instagram. Which one you do the
So
drop?
yeah, so the dry fire page, I do two free OG, so TWOFREEOG. That's my shooting
Right.
page, and then my
So
free
he
free OG
does.
account is my art
So he
stuff.
does two free OG on there. He do Dry Fire Fridays, and he'd been doing it for so long that he made me want to jump in and start doing Dry Fire Fridays with him, just so he can feel like. He got somebody with him that's doing some training. But like I
Man, I
said,
was doing that daily one, and I couldn't keep up with the daily one, so I had to do a weekly one at least.
hey, what's crazy? Once you tell people you're gonna be doing something, you got to do it. You got to stick to it.
Got to stick with it,
You got to
man.
stick to it. But man, like I said, I've been seeing your progress throughout the time we've been spending, especially training and shooting. I got to call him and ask him about matches now because he be hitting the match scene heavy. But like when you first got into it, because okay, my background is coming from the training tactical world. I don't want to say tactical world, but into the tactical world. Then I got into competition shooting because I hooked up with DMI Performance, Jeff and the homies. So we went from training with DMI Performance, and then he was like, "Man, you should come out to some of these axe matches." So then I kind of jumped into the competition world through that, and then he introduced me to IDPA, and then I started looking up USPSA and all that good stuff. So I went down that hill. But this year we kind of switching gears and getting away from the competition world, getting more back to training. But that's just for me. Like, how did you start? Because you got two things I want to talk about that's cool, and some people, I hope, like I said, they can learn from this. Like, tell the people how you started, and then like tell the equipment you started, because you didn't start like high price guns. You didn't start with a high price rifle. You definitely you started with a duck special.
Okay, all right, calm down.
Okay, and then and then your handgun. But like, just I want you to share kind of like the beginning of the journey, because somebody starting out in competition shooting or down this world think they go to a match, they think they got to spend $4,000 on a firearm, and that ain't what it is.
So I guess to begin, I got shooting. I started shooting because actually my girlfriend got her CPO before me. So she went and got her CPO, which inspired me to go out. And I was like, I hadn't shot a gun before then. I believe this was probably October of 2022 is when I started getting my CPL stuff together. So around October, November, I think after I got my CPL stuff done, I went to the gun store. And you hear the stories about everybody's first gun. I figured you'd probably ask me. My first pistol was a
Yes,
Smith and
please
Wesson,
tell them
Smith
what
and
your
Wesson
first pistol was.
SD9,
Hold on, repeat
SD9
that. Hold on.
VE.
Okay, SD not B. Okay, I just want to get that in there.
The 8 million pound trigger gun that nobody actually wants, but somehow everyone ends up with their first one. So that's what I was shooting with for a while. I didn't know any better, mostly because I didn't know anything. When you get into it, you don't know nothing about nothing unless you're doing your research on it. Obviously, I heard of Glock, I've heard of Smith and Wesson and stuff like that. But when it came to models and like what I was looking for in guns, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just blinded by the price because everybody knows you get that for sub $300, and it's like, why not? So I started shooting. My first match was an IDPA match out at Raccoon Hunters, and the week before, I literally bought outside the waistband holster from a place out in Westland, and they hooked me up with a holster, and I just ran it from there. Mag in my pocket and a one mag pouch from this place I got online from.
Mm. So basically, you didn't start with a battle belt or competition rig or some sweet tricked out CZ with a cold trigger. It wasn't none of that.
I had somebody recommended me for a belt. I had a core belt, one mag pouch, a generic holster, and my SD9. Just hoping to do something out there.
but so but when you came when we because when I seen you, you had probably done a couple more matches. Like, what who told you about Axe, and why did you want to be a part, like get come out there and train and shoot Axe?
The crazy thing is, I think the IDPA match, the first one I shot, was only like a week or two before the first Axe match I shot out there. So that the first time that y'all see me was the first time I was ever out there, and that was the because I seen you messaging on the Signal chat about who's going out to Axe or whatever. I heard about Axe from Ross in our group, and then I saw people were messaging in the Signal chat. I'm like, you know what? I'll go out there and try it out and see what it's about. And they were telling me like it's gonna be a hard match. Like they're very strict and they look, the camera's over here, man. I'm trying. They're very strict and they care a lot about the safety stuff, and I knew about that. I knew how to be safe, but when it comes to the nuances of acts, you got to learn a lot about the rule books and what they expect from you in the rule book. So um, yeah, I came out there because somebody had mentioned it, and uh, from there, like I said, I met you guys out there.
So he was talking about like the Axe, the American Confederation of Tactical Shooters. That's where kind of we get down at. Like I said, I didn't really get into IDPA. I shoot. I didn't really get into IDPA till like after Axe. So that's kind of me. And then I went into USPSA world. But like, far as the best way for a beginner to get into like competition shooting, what would you suggest?
Sign up on practicecore.com and look at the closest thing in your area. So it depends on what you think your favorite discipline would be. I jump straight into YouTube videos because YouTube has everything you want to watch, competition wise in the first place, which is why I make YouTube videos because I've been told stories of people that started their first match because they watched a YouTube video of mine. And it's always good to bring people in just off of experience of something that you did. So I jumped straight in on YouTube, started watching match footage, started watching training footage, And just practicecore.com has all the lists of competitions around your area. There's something for you out there. If it's not USPSA, it's IDPA, it's some other hit factor match, it's two gun stuff, it's shotgun. And a lot of those clubs are very welcoming to like new people. Like if you come with like nothing but your gun and like a bag or something, they'll probably still let you shoot since it's your first time. So you really don't need much if you want to get out there and just try it for the first time.
A good thing about the community is even if you came out there and you didn't have nothing, like even an action, you can contest to this. It was somebody out there to be like, "Hey, free, come grab this, come get this, come shoot my
Yeah,
rifle." Even if your rifle went down, you'd be like, somebody would have been like, "Hey, come shoot my rifle, come. You need a backpack, you need ammo, whatever you needed." We was out there to help you out because it's just a community, man. It's a community of love, especially in that world. I don't know why they try to separate us, act like we somebody different, but
yeah.
do you, so I guess let's go back to this question. Do you think you need expensive gear to train or shoot IDPA? Or more or less IDPA? Or
Uh,
competition shooting, not IDPA or USPSA, but do you think you need expensive gear to compete starting off?
so I'm gonna say this for anybody that wants to get in the USPSA, your first match, you're not gonna win. Nobody's ever gonna win their first USPSA match unless you've had prior competition background that's not USPSA. I don't think anyone should go into a USPSA match thinking they're gonna win and beat everyone there unless everyone there is also the same level as you. There's always something to learn, and especially as a new person, you don't know how to do everything. You won't know everything what to do, and that's okay. It's okay not to know stuff, but just don't go in there with an ego expecting to outshoot all the people that's been doing this for 10, 15 years. There's some old guys out there, like 60, 70 years old, that's still running hard, and will. I got my first match. I think I played 60 something out of like 70 shooters, and some old folks out there was tearing me up out there. So it's humbling, but I don't you don't need that super expensive stuff to start because if you don't know what you're doing in the first place, like just the mechanics of the shooting sport and like in first place, you're not gonna really get anywhere with the $3,000 gun. Like it's kind of hard to do so. Like I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's improbable. Let's just say that.
Well, one thing you said something uh about the YouTube, and you jumped onto the YouTube page and start, hitting the ground looking at those videos. Do those videos really help you? Okay, so you had some idea of fundamentals because you took a CPL class, correct? So you
Uh, yeah,
so I mean you took a C, but I guess you went through the four major safety rules. So
yeah.
you had an understanding of what the big boy rules were. Um, so did you think YouTube really helped you with, because you kind of, I guess in your walk you kind of bypasses the training world, and what I'm gonna say,
Mhm.
you went to YouTube training world. So do you
Yeah.
really think that the YouTube training world kind of helped you out and gave you what you needed to start with?
I believe so. Yeah, I think the thing is, so there's nothing wrong with going to training classes. There's some people that handle things like that. They want professional training. They want the one-on-one. And if everyone could do it, I say everyone should do it. But in my case, when I started, I didn't have the money, the resources, the knowledge to go out and find someone that was, high up there, or even the confidence level at that to go out to a match or a practice. Um, just because it's just like it's you feel like it's way out of your wheelhouse. So when I initially started, I went to the only place that I knew that was close to me that was doing the matches because someone told me to do exactly that. Find the closest place to you that's doing matches and just go and watch. So my first time going, I literally just sat there and watched like 3, 4 stages, see how everything went. And then you take all that stuff in and then you go home and that's just where the dry fire stuff comes into play. You learn about what dry fire is, and then you start doing dry fire to make yourself more comfortable with your gun.
So you started doing dry fire Fridays. Um,
Yeah, before dry fire Fridays, it was dry fire every day. I think when I had my SD9, I was dry firing every day on some like I want to get better at this kind of thing, and it was kind of gross. I was doing it way too much.
so
It was bad.
so why did you kind of lean over from, like, I know you say you did an IDPA match, but what made you really jump into the USPSA world?
I think it was I want to say the speed of it. It felt more competitive. Not so. I'm gonna preface this by saying I've never won an IDPA match, and I'm not gonna say that I will go and win an IDPA match because I'm good at USPSA. It's a totally different sport. It's totally different rules. There's things that you can be better at IDPA than you could be better at USPSA. There's a different rule set between the two. So just because I'm good at USPSA doesn't mean I'm going to be great at IDPA in the same way, other way around. It's just a preference that I had because it allowed me to do a lot more things that I was more comfortable with doing in the first place. If I wanted to, I could sit down and try to, figure out the rules of IDPA and just deal with what they give me and, train it hard and try to win as much as I can. But I prefer to fall into the USPSA stuff because it had all the rules that I was looking for in the first place.
Man, let's get real to it. You like to shoot fast and move fast. Don't even.
Yes, I guess that's
That's
it.
that's you know what's crazy because we've been shooting axe for so long that when I go to a USPSA match, it's hard for me to cross over barriers or cross over thresholds and not shoot
Yeah.
like I still don't understand. I know how to shoot a match, but in the USPSA world, it's totally different than in an axe world or like IDPA. And I'm still trying to figure out like what's the most efficient way to shoot matches when you do a USPSA. But as soon as I got there and I shot my first USPSA match, I was like, "Ooh, I'm hooked." All this fast action movement, and it's so speed and accuracy it kind of go together in USPSA. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I guess that's the beauty of the whole sport, since it's so much different than IDPA and so much different than your tactical kind of things. Speed and accuracy means a lot. With USPSA, there's multiple ways. I'm gonna say it like this: USPSA, there's usually multiple ways to run a stage, even if it's the wrong way. So there's right ways and there's wrong ways to run stages. But at the end of the day, whoever runs it the fastest and the most accurate wins. So that's the one thing I like about USPSA is that you don't feel so confined into a box and feel like you have to do this step. You got to go to this stick to shoot these targets. You got to go to this stick to shoot these. You can go to a different array of targets and shoot them however you want from whichever direction you want to do. And then reload wherever you want to go. It's a lot more freedom, and from a tactics standpoint, it's not good for the real life. But at the end of the day, it is a game. So it's you fall in love with a game that also will give you the skills for real life encounters because I like to think that I can shoot outside of just the sport aspect if I needed to, but just doing the USPSA sport, any shooting sport, honestly, is going to bump your skill level up to where you feel like you're a proficient shooter.
Well, I mean, okay, so every every competition, either IDPA, USPSA, acts, right? Even with those, you take some and you apply it to your real world. You apply it to your everyday, carry or whatever. So even with USPSA, shoot multi targets, moving fast, getting off the X. That matters, right?
Yeah,
Acts you moving the cover while you shooting, while you trying to figure it out. IDPA the same way. You might have to draw from concealment. So they all play a part in you becoming a good shooter and a responsible armed citizen. So it all plays a part. I don't think one
hmm
is you take more. You take what one is better than the other as far as becoming
yeah,
a total shooter or let's say total shooter or responsible armed citizen. I think they all help you in some type of way, especially skill level because if you can run, if you can move and shoot at USPSA, you can move and shoot in the real world, right? That's
right,
that
yeah,
that's real talk. So it's not like you're not going to once you see something, you're gonna react, and that's kind of what the competition world is. It helps you react fast, and that's one thing. But do you think like athleticism, because your background in playing sports, help you with coming, with the movements as far as USPSA? Because I know sometimes people may see us, shooting or training, and they be like, "Hey, man, your footwork is good. How do you
mhm.
learn the footwork?" And I'm just like, "Man, I don't know. I played a lot of sports, so we always did footwork drills. So some of this stuff is like natural motion for me. It's
Yeah,
like natural movements. It's something I would do in sports, football, basketball, whatever. It's like left, right, whatever. It's natural
yeah,
movements. So do you think because you had that background in sports that kind of helped you out?
yeah. I mean, I think like I said, there's guys that are not in shape that will still run circles around me shooting the USPSA matches. I'll say that having the athletic ability to shoot a USPSA match won't guarantee you a win, but I personally think that it's going to help you at the end of the day. So if you're able to move to a position faster than someone else, that's the time aspect. So obviously, the faster you are, the better your score is. So, having that athletic ability is good to have, but I don't think it's the end all be all of being good at the sport. There's so many guys that, like I said, they're athletic, and then there's so many guys that aren't athletic that are keeping up with the athletic guys just because their shooting skills, like they can put holes in the A zone fast, and then they can get to a position even if it's not as fast, and then still put holes in the A zone. So I will say I've been taking my health journey a little bit more serious as well, and trying to train functional skills like making sure my legs are good to move in and out of positions fast, and it's good. It's good to have that skill, but it's not the most necessary thing. I would suggest have some kind of base like level athleticism before you start. And even if you don't, you learn the footwork over time. Like you said, the more you do it, the more you start understanding what works and what doesn't work. And then, like I said, watching YouTube videos as well, the dry fire stuff, you can do all that stuff at home, even if you're not full sprinting.
Well, I know, especially dry fire Fridays, dry fire Fridays, dry fire Fridays. That's that dry fire saves so much money, because you can go in there and work on it. You can be in your basement, work on the draw. I was up at Shooter's Lane, and I was talking to one of the instructors there, and he was giving me some tips because I want to take a red dot class. Like I want to get fast and quick on my red dot. So me and the
Mhm.
homies just thinking about trying to jump into one of the Samurai Project classes that come to ups to. It's gonna be at Black Creek Ranch. I think
Okay.
MGFI is hosting him. He's one of the instructors that's coming in, and we want to take the class. But I just want to get better on my red dot, and he was giving me some tips. He's like, "Man, listen, this is stuff you can do in the basement. So, this is stuff you can do during dry fire training and workout. I mean, dry fire." So I was like, "Bet, I'm gonna start implementing that." And one thing that I seen you do, and it's a compliment to you, like even you dry fire, you move, but then like you dry fire with your competition rig on, but then you start doing some dry fire drawing from appendix. And I know like USPSA has adopted the appendix carry into that rule, so that's cool that you do that because I was just like, well, me, I'm more of a not a, like say competition, but I carry appendix, so I try to that them adding you that to USPSA is like bet I want to get into that. Even IDPA, it added to IDPA too, so now you can carry appendix and shoot. So that makes me want to go to those competitions more because now I don't have to have the what you want to call it the old Sammy Sam Brown vest on and swing it open
Yeah.
and all that. I can just go
Yeah.
from appendix and I see you do that, and I was just like, man, that's cool that you add that and you show that because you see people doing the competition dry fire, but I'm just like you need to add some of real world. If you carry like that, hey, train like that. But if you carry appendix 99% of the time, you need to dry fire like that. It's different movements, so you want to be good at both in that world. But hey, question: what's some BS rules that's in? Okay, give me your BS rules that's in ACTS, and give me your BS rules that's in USPSA. You like, man,
You're
this
gonna
is
be
some
cussed out.
bull rule.
You're gonna be cussed out. Um, all right, I'm gonna start with I think USPSA. So the whole appendix thing, like you were mentioning, I think it's dumb at some clubs that you can't do inside the waistband appendix. So with recently with our local range, they started allowing inside the waistband appendix for IDPA matches. Um, Before you couldn't do inside the waistband appendix, but you could do inside the waistband strong side. And I think at the end of the day, the risk is still there no matter what if you're inside the waistband. I think they just pick and choose because of, the obviously the area that the gun is in. But that's one of the things that I'm I wish that they would get rid of, because it would bring more people into the sport if they had the inside the waistband rule. Because a lot of people don't want to do it because they don't want to buy the whole rig. They don't want to get the crazy drop leg stuff. They don't want to get all the magazine pouches. They want to run it how they run their matches. So I think more people should be open to inside the waistband appendix for USPSA matches, as well as they just actually changed the rule for USPSA. I was going to say it was BS that you can't use video evidence for, like, so say you get disqualified on the stage. Beforehand, they couldn't let you use video evidence to prove your case that you didn't do what they said you did to get disqualified. But now they changed that rule. So if you are recording yourself or you record something and they catch you doing something that you get disqualified for, like breaking a 180, you can show them on video, like, hey, I was at 175 or 174 or whatever, and they watch that back, and if they're wrong, you can continue shooting. So the USPSA, they just made that change. Axe, I don't know. Axe is weird because one thing I always didn't understand with Axe was the whole sweeping yourself thing upon uh reholstering and unholstering, especially for people that run appendix, because you're literally sweeping yourself when you go appendix, like you put the gun away every time. So as you know, during CRC, that we had a couple guys that got DQ for drawing their gun in their holster and sweeping their leg, and then going down to a position where they swept their leg, so they got disqualified for that. And every time I see someone draw from their appendix, either sitting down or like reholstering appendix, I'm like, that's the same thing. They kicking people out for outside the waistband part, but the appendix one, they're letting people get away with it. I say that's probably like the only thing that I can really think of that kind of messes me up inside.
Well, it's weird that I'm trying to figure out how that video is going to play a part in somebody like when they see it. So how long do you? So if we sit there and I got video evidence, how long is that going? You think is that going to slow the matches down? Because that seems like people going to be sitting there arguing, got this videotape, and like we go to you go to matches. Sometimes you ain't got the best signal. You don't know if your
Right,
phone going to do whatever record, and
right.
that battery may be down. So I'm just figuring out how is that really going to work, because that's going to slow some matches down, because people are going to be arguing about, well, check this out, look at this, and then zoom in. It's like, nah, that's not what it was. I
I mean,
think,
they just made the rule change, so we will probably start seeing it being implemented within the summertime. Like we probably gonna see our first case of like video evidence over the summertime, and I'm assuming they'll work it out as it comes. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
and then because I like even in acts, right? The thing with acts is, and this is weird because you can protest the DQ, but it's
Yeah,
after the match. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like CRC, you can protest and then you pay, and then you got to pay for the protest. But in the protest is like it's well, maybe they're gonna change that. I know some things happened at some of the matches, and they were kind of like, okay, this happened, and so they corrected. But like it acts, it's kind of like once you get DQ'd, it's like it's 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 a wrap.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Right.
it's a wrap. It's no purpose of even questioning or arguing in it. By that time, it's kind of like it is what it is, man. So I
That's the
take
hard part about that too, is because you arguing against the person that called you out for the thing that you did, and 98% of the time the RO was going to have the highest word of what they saw. They got to have to go with the RO's
Right.
word.
So basically you question, so even in IDPA, USPSA, even acts, you question the RO. So now how does that look when you question the RO, if that RO is like, oh, this person he ain't getting it done. So what I'm saying? It's they
Yeah,
out there for safety. Like I said, they not getting paid.
yeah,
We need them out there. So everybody that's a RO at a match, believe me, I know it can be hard, especially, dealing with people that get DQ and they want to argue. They say they didn't do it, did whatever, whatever. So that's a hard job, man.
yeah.
So and now, like I said, you were kind of unique because like you came out there, you started shooting axe with a what kind of rifle did you have?
Spilled the beans already. It was a Radical Firearms 223556 from Dunham's. I think I bought
You didn't have to go into
January,
you didn't have
February.
to go into the whole Dunham's that you bought it from
I,
Dunham's.
I had to. That's the only place. That's when you hear Radical. Where else would you think that you bought a Radical from? Don't nobody
Hey,
buy
the,
Radicals
you
online.
know what's crazy? The homeboy Dale was out there. You remember Dale?
Uh,
He
yeah.
that, hey, he loves radical firearms. He
Mm-hmm.
loves radical rifles. He's been running his for a while. But what was cool about yours is that you ran that thing till it stopped running. Like, hey, I need something else. Like you actually beat the rifle up. It's like, hey, so
Yeah.
listen, run what you brung. That's how I say, Phil. Run what you
Right.
brung. If you gotta run that rifle until it stop working, then upgrade. Then hey, we know that that rifle was going to cut out sometime soon, right? Because you know
Mhm.
the quality of the material, what you paid for it, it wasn't up to par. And then when I see people, I'll be uncoiled. When they come in there and they try to sell firearms back or rifles, it's always a radical or it's always
Mhm.
somewhere not at a gun store. Like they coming from places like Dunham's, other places. I'm
Yeah.
just like, man, listen. I try to catch them before they even get up to the counter, and I'm like, hey man, I said, I got this rifle, I got this, and this on it. And I look at it, I said, man, just put that away. They're gonna probably give you $100 for that thing. What?
Right.
I spent this, and this. Listen, because the firearm, when you bought that firearm, you bought it for you. When you start tricking it out and putting stuff on there, that's for you.
Yeah.
That's not for the next man. Ain't nobody else gonna like that. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
they not gonna they not, they not gonna give you top dollar for that rifle, man. And
Right.
it's bad to say that sometimes you got to spend money on a good rifle to so it keep the value of it up. I learned that
Yeah.
with some of mine. But like I got my trusty Daniel, and I've been running that for I've been running that last season. I got a new build that I'm running this season, but yeah. So like I said, you ran the hell out that radical, and then you got your hands on that real deal upper from
I don't
from
even want to talk about it. I got spoiled by that damn upper, bro. The
what was
whole
it?
the
What
whole
you got?
assembly.
What was it? You got spoiled because
So
he was the what do you get?
so it was the Daniel upper. It was really that Lantac Dragon. It was that Dragon muzzle brake that was like the rifle didn't move. Like I was running, point 15, point 10 splits, and the rifle wasn't moving. So it was the Daniel upper. I put my dot on it. That Lantac Dragon, the SD3G trigger, and then my grip, and then whatever buffer system that Fred had put in the gun.
Yeah, he was like, man, I think I need to get my gun back because free, 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 free OG is running the heck out of this gun, man. Free OG is
I was
putting
having a
in
good time
work
with that
on this
thing,
gun.
man.
I was just like, hey, he ain't playing with this boy. But it was cool to see you run that rifle. So it's just like, man, I wanted to talk to you about it because I was just like, man, he had bought a radical, and it's kind of hard to tell people like, man, that don't work or it's not gonna work for longevity of it. But then you get out there and you running it, and then you see what happened. It's like I told you, we told you it
Yeah.
was, it was gonna be like that. But like, so what's on the horizon for it? What you trying to do? What's your next couple moves as far as when it comes to USPSA? Like where you want to be at the end of this season?
So I'm A class in carry optics right now. I think the mission is to get M class. So if you don't know, in USPSA there's rankings based off of your classification. They got a classification system. So it's D, C, B, A, M, and then GM. So I'm at A right now in carry optics, and I'm looking to be a M in carry optics. GM, is the highest one. I want to shoot for GM, but I think setting a goal that's just far enough out of my reach. If master level is not easy to reach. Master level is actually kind of hard to just obtain, just in general. So master class is what I'm reaching for. GM is the big goal, but at the end of the day, I just want to say that I'm shooting at the best ability that I can shoot. I want to win some matches. I want to shoot. If I don't win some matches, I want to shoot 90% of the winner. So 90% is basically the winner of each match places 100%. So you're going off the winner of each match. I want to shoot 90% of what they shot, points and time wise. Overall, I just want to get better at the whole thing. I think I have a lot of potential for greatness in both the pistol shooting sports, and I want to shoot two gun more often. My main goal for the future is to shoot like on the international team, like the world shoot stuff, the pistol world shoot stuff, the rifle and pistol world shoot stuff. That's like the big goal. So, but as of now, I'm just continuing my YouTube stuff, shooting with cool people, and meeting as many people as I possibly can. I would love to shoot for a company at some point in time, but I don't want to bring my hopes up. I don't want to get my hopes up for something that's kind of hard to obtain. There's people that's been shooting for like 10, 15, 20 years and they haven't been reached out to by anyone. But that's just a goal of mine. It's just to shoot for someone at some point in time.
Well, I've been trying to. I've been okay. That's a ZV-10. Okay, let me check this out. I'm like, man, I've been on the wrong camera all day. But one thing that I found out when I was out there, you got to bring value to the company that you want to shoot for, or even like the sponsor. If you get sponsors, whatever, you got to bring some type of value. And I was trying to tell
Yeah,
you before, it's cool to shoot. It's cool to shoot in like our pool, like in this area metro, but you got to get out. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out and
yeah,
start shooting with competitions that may be in Indiana. You might have to jump in the car, go to Iowa, wherever, Ohio, wherever they got matches that fit what you're trying to do, like each week or each month, just travel somewhere, like go to Ohio, see if you can catch a match, just to see different shooters. Because I know if you see different talent and how they move and shoot and talk to them, and they see what you're trying to do, I know they gonna pour into you and they're gonna help you out.
yeah,
Especially in that USPSA world. I mean, it's competition, but people still want to, help other people out to see that when they shoot, it's like, oh, okay, this kid can get it. Let me help him out.
yeah,
So I think that's one thing. Yeah, just get out there and see what's out there. You got go shoot some matches. Like I said, in Indiana, Ohio, look up on that practice score and see what kind of matches out there, and go hit them. I might even hit them with you. I was at Shooter's Lane and the guy was asking me my hit factor. And I was like, man, I don't know what the hit factor is. I know I was just trying to get as many alphas as possible and not as many Charlies. So I was like, I shoot because I like shooting, but I didn't really get into that, where I stand at. Maybe because I wasn't really into USPSA. I was just into the
mhm,
art of competition shooting, opposed to saying
yeah.
like, look, but I think I'm gonna pay. So, can explain to me what is the hit factor? Because I still
So
don't understand what that is.
So in USPSA scoring, I actually just looked it up so I don't, steer you wrong. In USPSA scoring, you have a major and a minor power factor. So if you're shooting minor power factor, I'm gonna just put it on a flat slate. We're shooting minor power factor. We're shooting carry optics. So a zone hit is 5 points. A C zone hit is 3 points, and a D zone hit is 1 point. And a miss, I believe, is minus 10 points. But we're not going to worry about misses or no shoots right now. I'm going to go off just like the basics of like what hit factor is. So the best two hits on target count. So ideally, you want two alpha hits on a target. So you add up at the end of your string of fire, you add up all the points that you get, ACDs, misses, whatever. And you divide that by the amount of time that it took you to shoot that stage. So say there's three targets, you shot two A's, two A's, two A's. So that's 5, 10, that's 30 points in 5 seconds. So I can't do math right now, but that's a
Okay.
number.
Wait. Let's rotate. Let's check two free OG out right quick. Let's get to
Oh
this.
shoot.
I got to
Okay.
get to this one part too. We gonna this whole thing. Yeah, yeah. Watch, check
Big
check
ready.
check youngster out. Check him out. Get that free. When we had Shooter's Lane, I be telling the people that's there because I be telling the people that's there that's new shooters that want in the competition, like get that free one in, right? Get that free
Yeah.
that free look in through the optic and make sure everything is right, make sure you're mental and you focus and ready to go. And they're like, what you mean? I say, look, he didn't say low, make ready. So get that free one. It's free. It's not gonna cost you nothing. It's gonna,
Hmm.
shake the nerves off. It's gonna get you ready to go. Let,
Exactly.
let, let's see what he's working with.
Big ready.
Oh, he said it. Look, you got that free. Bring
Yeah.
that.
So you only can take your gun out after he tells you to make ready. Are you ready? This
sir.
Stand by.
Got some good cadence in there. Oh, look at that reload.
If your fist unload so clear, if clear. Hammer down. Poster. Brakes clear.
Look at they got the chalk. You know they serious. They got chalk on their hands. You know they serious. They got chalk.
Two alpha. Two alpha. Alpha Charlie.
I got my numbers pulled up over here too when we talk about it.
Alpha Charlie. Alpha Charlie. Alpha Charlie. Alpha Charlie.
Damn it.
Alpha Charlie. 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 Two alpha.
Listen to this, y'all. I want y'all to hear this.
Charlie's hurt. Thank you.
Alex is up! Michael's on deck! Brian is in the hole!
What was that time on that again, Heidi?
Nice run, man.
Thank you.
That was
appreciate it.
good.
What's the time on that again, Heidi?
15-13.
Okay.
Hey, nice run, man. Nice run, dude. Freaking awesome, dude. Freaking awesome, man. Yeah, dude. So hey, so hey, you know they serious when they start wearing chalk on their hands. You know it's serious. You know it's game time.
That's the way to go. My hands get real sweaty bad. My hands sweaty right now. I gotta throw some chalk on right now.
You try to do LeBron James?
LeBron toss up.
LeBron toss. Okay, so hey, so say that again. When the RSO asks, he says, what does he say to you?
So they say the rule is when they say make ready, you can handle your gun. Before they say make ready, you can't touch your gun. If you touch your gun before they say make ready, then you're disqualified. So
If you
make
take it out
ready
the
is,
host, if you take it out the holster.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you take your gun out the holster before they say make ready, then you're disqualified from the match. But after they say make ready, you're free to take. I think it says one step away from like the starting position. You can take his max one step away from the starting position, and you can present, see your dot in your gun. You can check the gun, make sure it's all good to go, and then load the gun. And everything else from there is just you wait until the beep to go off for you to go.
So, and the chalk, it's like the chalk. Does the chalk really work?
It honestly does. So my hands get real sweaty bad. So I didn't know about that at first, but when I saw people using it, I was like, it's a fluke. Like, it's just some gamer stuff. Why are people using this stuff? Like, it ain't no way it's going to make a difference. But, like, when you start using it, you'll notice your draw is a lot better. Your hand don't slip down your gun when you're drawing. And then when you lock in with your support hand, it sticks in. I don't know what it is. It's that chalk. That chalk works a lot.
He think he LeBron. He think he LeBron out there.
You got to practice with it though. You can't just throw that stuff on a match and then expect to like run it well. I tried to do that one before, and it.
So what are you running out there? What gun you shooting?
So I'm shooting my Glock 47 with a Timney trigger and my Vortex Defender XL.
That's the red dot you got.
Yeah, so the Vortex 5mm Defender XL.
I thought you got a hollow.
I had an EPS carry on it, and I caught a Black Friday deal on. So it's a Vortex Comp Dot, which is just the Defender XL but rebranded. It's the same thing, but it's just a 5mm dot.
So once again, that's not an expensive dot, right?
It was $200.
Right. So it wasn't a $600-700 Trijicon or AccuPoint or this, that, and the third. And he out there getting busy with the budget gun. He got a Glock.
That's way I'm about to say that's more than what I was shooting. Remember I was shooting the PSA dagger for a minute. With that $100 red dot.
And that dagger, the red dot flew off that thing. It said, "You know what? Catch me later, homie."
Yeah,
the dagger was like, "Catch me later, homie."
Glad to be done with that thing.
Hey, but you running, like I said, bro. I don't care if they gave you a bow and arrow. You be out there getting it. I don't care what it was. You was gonna run it, man. But look, hey man, thanks for jumping in on this one, man. Like I said, this is like we trying something new. And I was like, man, I'm picking my brains. Like, man, I need to holler at somebody on here to see if all this stuff works. So hopefully everybody liked the show. And I didn't even say what I usually should say. But look, before we get off of here, Please hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom. Like I said, so we can follow. Just show the love and everything we're doing. You see, Free OG got my shirt on. My skills is essential. Technically, he designed that shirt, so he is a kind of like a little low key graphic designer. But but then I'm like I said, man. Like I said, I like your grind, I like your hustle, bro. You got some big things, a big future ahead of you. Like I said, thanks for jumping on here with me. Um, like I said, I'm still working through some technical difficulties on here, so hopefully everything on here worked right. The Wi-Fi was popping.
Yeah,
Whatever you did, shutting it down, helped
yeah.
out. So look, just tell people where they can find you at and all that good stuff.
So it's TWOFREEOG, two free OG on Instagram is where I mostly post my. I try to post at least weekly, every other day or so, but I'm mostly on there. And then my YouTube is free OG, FREEOG. I post match videos, any type of other content I can think of. I've been doing vlogs and stuff recently, just trying to not to put myself in a box, but be an overall content creator as well as a good shooter. The shooting stuff comes first, obviously. I want to be a high level shooter, but I like to show some of my personal side as much as I can as well.
Hey, hey, nephew got me on to doing some of that vlogging stuff, and I be carrying these right here, bro. These Meta glasses. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, everything I've been shooting, when I go out here shooting out, I'm running these Metas. These boys is dope. So footage you see on Instagram and all that, I'm running all the Meta Ray Bans, the Meta Ray Bans. I've been running them. I've been watching Two Free OG do vlogs, so I was like, man, I need to throw that in there too, just to because people want to see kind of what we doing and they want to share our experience and they want to learn. Like I said, when I first started, it wasn't. I didn't see us out there doing what we was doing, so I wanted to be kind of that like help that out. But our community is growing, and I see more people out there shooting competition and showing what they're doing. So, like I said, big ups to you, man. I think what I'm saying, you got a big future ahead, especially shooting and doing everything you're doing. So, listen, if you like what we talking about, kicked it, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'ma say it again. Please hit that like and subscribe button real quick, real fast, so I can catch that rhythm on YouTube. And like I said, thanks for showing up. Game recognize game. We recognize you, so please recognize us because this is what we do. And I'm out. Peace.